What if I told you that the food on your plate isn't just about taste, it's about power, privilege, and prestige? From golden banquets in ancient palaces to simple meals shared in humble homes, food has always been more than just sustenance. It has shaped societies, defined class structures, and reflected who held power throughout history. So, what does your food say about your status? Stay with us as we unravel the fascinating connection between food and social hierarchy in a journey across time. Throughout history, food has not only nourished bodies but also built empires and reinforced social classes. The elite dined lavishly, indulging in exotic spices and rare delicacies, while the common folk made do with humble grains and simple fare. But why did certain foods become symbols of wealth? How did food choices reflect social divisions? And most importantly, how did this evolve over time? From the royal courts of ancient China to the bustling marketplaces of medieval Europe, we'll explore how food became a marker of privilege and how these traditions still echo in our modern world. Let's start with the ancient world. In Egypt, pharaohs were buried with food fit for gods, dates, honey, and meats, ensuring their status even in the afterlife. Meanwhile, the Romans turned dining into a spectacle, serving flamingo tongues and stuffed dormice as symbols of their wealth. And in ancient India, royal kitchens experimented with spices so rare that they were worth their weight in gold. It wasn't just about taste, it was about prestige. The rarer the food, the higher the status. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and food remained a clear marker of social standing. While the nobility dined on venison, fine wine, and exotic spices, the lower classes relied on rye bread, root vegetables, and pottage, a thick stew that sustained them through harsh winters. Spices like cinnamon and saffron were worth fortunes, available only to those in power. Owning a peppercorn in medieval Europe was akin to holding a tiny piece of gold. Even sumptuary laws dictated who could eat what, because heaven forbid a commoner should taste the luxury of a noble's table. Colonialism reshaped food and status forever. Spices, sugar, chocolate, and coffee became the new luxuries, fueling both economic expansion and social stratification. Sugar, once a rarity, became a symbol of wealth, leading to opulent desserts in European courts. Meanwhile, the working class still relied on simpler, homegrown foods like grains and vegetables. The irony? What was once a luxury, like sugar, is now a common dietary staple, yet it still divides class through access to healthy, unprocessed alternatives. Today, the lines between luxury and necessity are still drawn through food. Caviar and truffle-laced dishes remain symbols of affluence, while fast food and processed meals are often associated with lower-income groups. But there's a shift happening. Organic produce, farm-to-table movements, and even ancient grains like quinoa have taken on a new status, sometimes making healthy eating a privilege rather than a right. So, has anything really changed? Or has food just found new ways to reflect social divide? What do you think? Are there modern foods that still reflect social status? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into food history, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories about food and culture. From ancient feasts to modern Michelin-starred dining, food has always been a symbol of wealth, class, and culture. It tells stories of power, struggle, and even rebellion. But here's the truth: food should be about more than status. It should be about nourishment, connection, and heritage. Whether it's a humble bowl of rice or an extravagant dish with gold leaf, every meal has a story. So, the next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, what story is your plate telling? Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the incredible world of food history.